Okay, today we get to talk about customary conversions. And today we are not going to just do what maybe you've done in the past. We're going to use a very organized method to do it. So we have been working on ratios lately, and we have been working on that ratio table, helping us to solve questions involving conversions sometimes. So that's what we're going to be using today. It helps us keep everything organized. We label what we know. Then it's a little easier for us to see what we're trying to solve. Y'all keep your desks together and down on all four legs, please. Okay, before we start, my gallon guy is messed up because, like I said, I was probably thinking of a million other things while I drew it, and I drew it wrong. There are 4 quarts in a gallon, which means that there are 8 pints in a gallon. So we're going to fix that real quick. So if you look at our gallon guy, we are going to draw a Q, 4 Qs, and I'm going to squeeze in an extra pint into each Q. So then we have 2 pints, and in each pint there are 2 cups. And you can draw it bigger. I actually used to, whenever I would do this, I would color code it. So those of you who have your colors out, you may want to color code because it looks really nice when you do it this way. Some of you may want to color code like this so that you can see it easier. There are 2 cups per pint. I typically don't draw in the ounces because there are so many ounces per cup, and that would be so many ounces per pint and even more ounces per quart and tons of ounces in that gallon. So typically what I have done there, it is a little bit bigger if you need to see it. Off to the side, just do 8 ounces equals 1 cup. That way you know. But also, if you noticed, at the top of your chart, I also gave you some very common customary conversions. So it's kind of like your cheat sheet right there so that you can go back and reference that if you need to. Okay, most of them you should have memorized. If there's any that you don't or that you're unsure of, maybe make yourself some flashcards at home or something. Like, try to have those memorized. It will benefit you. You will save yourself time. You don't have to go back flipping to find out what's in what. Okay, so today we get to practice all the customary conversions. Now on Friday, you guys had some customary conversions sprinkled in with our metric conversions whenever we were doing the rainy day relays, and you guys created your cute little umbrella girl guy, whatever y'all drew. So today we're going to go ahead and break down how I want you to start practicing your customary conversions, because I don't want you to get lost in the math. I think it's really easy to get lost in math sometimes if we're not keeping ourselves organized. So I'm going to teach you an organizational strategy. I do expect you to use it for a little bit. If you use it past this, up to you. Okay, but I just want to teach you one thing because I think that the more ways we see something, the easier it is, because then we can pick and choose what works for us. So what we're doing today is what I call the 3-box method. So it says, use that 3-box system to convert from one unit within the system to another. Okay, so we're staying within the customary system. We're not going between customary and metric, nothing crazy right now. It's just all customary measurements. So our first example says, how many inches are in 4 yards? What I would want you to do is to list your labels. What am I even working with? I'm working with inches and yards. So I would label inches and yards. And then I list what I know to be true about inches and yards. What do I know about inches and yards? How many inches are in 1 yard? 36 inches in 1 yard. And if I'm trying to figure out 4 yards, this helps me see what I'm doing. I can very easily see that I need to multiply 36 times 4. Remember also, guys, some of y'all like to do that, what we call like butterfly method, where you cross multiply and then divide by what's left over. So you can do 36 times 4. It wouldn't make sense to divide it by 1 because you're going to end up with the same thing. So either way you do it, you can look to see what am I doing from 1 to get to 4. Do the same thing here, 36 times 4. Okay, so what's your final answer going to be? 144 what? Inches, guys. Y'all need to start labeling. If you on your practice today do not label your answer, I'm taking a point off. Be sure you start labeling. We're starting to get into, well, we still have to go through percents and things, but once we get back to this and we do measurement, I will take points off for not labeling your answers. So be sure that you start practicing now, because at some point I will start taking that point off, okay? And I don't know what it's like in middle school. I would imagine that they probably do similar because they're trying to teach you good habits. So try to start practicing now, labeling those answers so that whenever it comes time, like you're not missing points for something silly like that. Okay, tons. What do we know about tons and pounds? Okay, so there are 2,000 pounds and 1 ton. And that's in your cheat sheet up at the top. So if I'm converting 6 tons to pounds, I'm going to have my 6 here. I can choose to cross multiply and divide, but again, because I'm breaking it down to a unit, just 1, it's super simple. All I got to do is know how to get from 1 to 6. So I'm just going to times 6 to both of those. And 2,000 times 6 is 12,000 what? Pounds. Make sure you label. Okay. Last one, there are how many pints and 14 cups? What am I converting? Pints and cups. Does it matter where I put what? Can I put pints on top and cups on bottom? Yeah, I can put cups on top and pints on bottom. It doesn't matter as long as you make sure that you list everything in the correct place. Okay, so there are 2 cups for every 1 pint. That's right. So you're a little gallon guy. I also have my super gallon man over there too as a reminder. But there are 2 cups for every 1 pint. So if I'm converting 14 cups, again, you can see pretty easily I can just multiply by 7. So that means that there are 7 pints for 14 cups.
Is cups just stand for C?
Yeah. The abbreviation for cups is a C. Abbreviation for pints is PT. Okay, seems simple enough. 3-box method. Okay, I want you to get a whiteboard and a dry erase marker. We're going to do some practice with Kahoot.